The first time he walked away, I thought it was over, but it was only beginning. He had underestimated me, and that mistake would cost him everything. The office was silent when he left, leaving the contract on the table like a dare. I stared at it, the numbers glaring up at me like a challenge. I did not feel anger, because anger is a tool, not a trap. I studied the papers, tracing every clause, every stipulation, every loophole. I understood how he thought he could leave me behind, how he believed I was powerless. He walked out thinking I had nothing to offer, that my life was empty of leverage. That was his first mistake. He thought he could measure me with his assumptions. He never understood that I measure myself in patience, in precision, in control. The next morning, I woke with the calculation of the deal already clear in my mind. I made coffee slowly, letting the quiet settle around me, and then I opened the file, reading every page, not once, not twice, but 3 times, because things like this are never simple, and the real danger is always hidden beneath the surface. When I finished, my decision was already made. Calculated, precise, I picked up my phone and typed, "I will accept." The reply was instant. Meeting at 6, same place. Perfect. They were ready, which meant I had to be sharper, because when powerful people move fast, it is never without reason. That evening, the city lights seemed brighter, colder, more alive, as if they knew something was about to change. I walked into the building calmly, my steps measured, my presence controlled. But this time, I was no longer just a guest. I was becoming something more. When the elevator doors opened, he was already there, waiting. "You did not take long," he said. I stepped forward. I never do. A small smile appeared on his face. "Good. We do not work well with hesitation." I handed him the file. "I am in." "No conditions?" he asked. I looked at him directly. "Only one. Speak." "I do not follow orders blindly. I make decisions." He held my gaze and nodded once. "That is exactly why you are here." Agreement without resistance. Interesting. He extended his hand. I looked at it, then shook firmly. In that moment, it was not just a deal. It was a shift, a new chapter, one that would change everything. The following weeks moved fast. Meetings, strategies, decisions. Everything sharp, intense, precise. I was no longer working alone, but I was not being controlled either. That was the difference. Every move I made mattered. Every decision carried weight, and I handled it all without hesitation, because this was my world, and now it was expanding. Daniel watched everything. Not closely, not aggressively, but carefully, like he was studying patterns, learning strengths, testing limits. And I let him, because I was doing the same. Trust is never given. It is built slowly, strategically. One evening after a long day, we were the last two left in the office. The city lights glowing through the glass walls, the silence heavy but not uncomfortable. "You work differently," he said, breaking the quiet. I did not look up from the screen. "How?" "You do not chase results, you position them." I leaned back slightly. Chasing creates mistakes. Positioning creates control. He nodded slowly. "That explains a lot." I turned my chair slightly to face him. "And you observe too much." A faint smile. "It's my job." "No, it's your nature." That made him pause, then he nodded again. "Fair." Silence returned, but this time it felt lighter, less like a test, more like understanding. Then he spoke again. "Do you ever slow down?" I shook my head. "No." "Why?" "Because slowing down means giving someone else the chance to catch up, and I do not allow that." He watched me for a moment, then said quietly, "You are dangerous." I held his gaze. "Only to the wrong people." That made him smile, properly this time. Not calculated, not controlled. Real. Good, because we deal with a lot of wrong people. Days turned into more weeks, and everything kept growing. Bigger deals, higher stakes, more influence, the kind of power people do not talk about, but feel. Then one day, something unexpected happened, but this time it was not a message, not a meeting, not an opportunity. It was him. I was stepping out of the building late at night when I saw a familiar figure standing near the entrance. For a second, I thought I was imagining it, but I was not. He was there, waiting, his posture tense, his eyes scanning the area until they landed on me. And just like that, the past walked back into my present. I stopped, not surprised, just still. He stepped forward slowly. "I need to talk to you," he said. His voice was different, not confident, not sharp, almost uncertain. I looked at him calmly. "There is nothing left to talk about." He shook his head quickly. "No, there is. You don't understand." I raised an eyebrow slightly. "Then explain?" He hesitated, like the words were heavy, like admitting them would cost him something. "I messed up more than you think," he said. I crossed my arms slightly. "That's not new information." He let out a dry breath, listening but not reacting, because reactions give power, and I was not giving him any. "I got involved with the wrong people," he continued. "Business deals that were not clean, promises that were not real. I thought I was getting ahead, but I was just getting trapped." That caught my attention. "Trapped? In what?" I asked calmly. He looked around briefly, like he didn't want to say it out loud. "Debt, pressure, people who don't take no for an answer." I studied him carefully. This was not the same man who walked away from me. This was someone else, someone who had fallen. Hard. "And now you're here," I said. "Yes." "Why?" He stepped closer. "Because I need help." I almost laughed, but I stopped myself. "Help? From me? The same person you walked away from?" He looked down for a second, then back up. "I know how it sounds. Because if you act desperate, it weakens you." There it was. Honesty. Finally. But too late. I took a step closer to him, my voice low but clear. "You made your choices, and now you're living them. That's how this works." His face was serious now, focused, desperate, but aware. "I will not fail." I did not respond, because people like him had already failed once. Words meant nothing, only actions did. I took a slow breath, then said, "Fine." Relief hit his face instantly, too quickly, which told me something important. He still thought this was about saving him, but it was not. Not entirely. "When do they expect the money?" I asked. "Soon, very soon. Days, not weeks." "Good. Pressure creates mistakes, and I use mistakes." "Where?" I asked. "Where do they meet you?" He hesitated again, then said, "An old warehouse near the industrial area." Of course, always somewhere like that, hidden, controlled, isolated. I nodded slowly. "You will take me there." His eyes widened slightly. "What? No, it's too dangerous." I looked at him without emotion. "Danger is not new to me." "But this is different," he insisted. "These people, they're not like anything you've dealt with." "You're assuming too much," I replied. His voice dropped. "I'm trying to protect you." That made me pause. Then I let out a quiet breath. "You lost the right to protect me the moment you walked away." That shut him down instantly. Silence again. But this time, he understood. This was not a partnership. This was control. My control. "You will take me there," I repeated. He hesitated, then finally nodded. "Okay. Good." I stepped back slightly. "Tomorrow night, you will message them. Tell them you are ready." He frowned. "Ready for what?" "For a deal, not repayment." Confusion crossed his face. What kind of deal? I looked at him calmly. "The kind they cannot refuse." He stopped for a second, then he exhaled. "I'm not just saving you. I'm claiming control. You will learn from this." He nodded quickly. I drove off into the night, my mind already moving ahead, planning, calculating, because tomorrow night was not just a meeting, it was a game, and I never play unless I know I will win. The night felt heavier than usual, not dark, but tense, like the air itself was waiting. I arrived early, not too close, not too far, perfect positioning. From there, I could see everything, the entrances, the exits, the shadows. Always watch the shadows. They tell you more than people do. He was already there, standing near the entrance, his posture stiff, his eyes scanning every movement. When he saw me, relief flashed across his face. "You came," he said quietly. "Of course I did. I don't say things I don't mean." He nodded quickly. "They're inside, watching." "I know." He looked surprised. "How?" I didn't answer, because some things are obvious, and explaining them only lowers your position. Listen carefully, I said, stepping closer. From this moment on, you do not speak unless I tell you. You do not react. You do not interrupt. You follow. He swallowed hard. Okay. I held his gaze. Say it. I follow. Good. I turned toward the entrance, then started walking, each step echoing slightly against the concrete. The door was half open, just enough. An invitation. Or a trap. Usually both. I pushed it open fully and stepped inside. The smell hit first. Dust, oil, something metallic, old, cold. The lights inside were low, shadows stretching across the floor like they were alive. And then I saw them. 3 men, standing near the center, not hiding, not nervous, comfortable, which meant one thing. They believed they were in control. I smiled faintly. Let him think that, because thinking they're in control is the first mistake. The man in the middle stepped forward, tall, sharp eyes, calm face, the kind of calm that comes from experience or cruelty, maybe both. You are late, he said. I checked the time briefly. No, I am exactly on time. A small pause, then a faint smile from him. Interesting. His eyes shifted to the man behind me, then back to me. And you are not alone. I stepped forward without hesitation. He is not important, I said. Talk to me. That changed something. Not much, but enough. The dynamic shifted slightly, because now he was curious, and curiosity creates openings. He studied me carefully. Who are you? Someone who is here to solve your problem, I replied. He let out a quiet breath. We do not have a problem. He does, and we are here to fix it. No, I said calmly, you are here to get what you want, and I'm here to make sure you actually get it. Silence. I could feel it. Not from me, from them. I walked to the center. He looked at me. You speak like you have leverage. I tilted my head slightly. I do. You want money, I said. He nodded once. But not just money. Of course. You want control, access, connections. He narrowed his eyes slightly. Now you are interesting, I continued. What you have right now is a failing investment, a desperate man, and a situation that gives you limited return. He laughed quietly. Limited. We will take everything he has, and it still will not be enough, I replied. That made him stop, just for a second, because now he was listening. I stepped closer. You are playing a small game with small outcomes. I'm offering you something bigger. Silence. Heavy. Focused. The other 2 men were watching closely now, trying to read me, trying to understand, but I was not easy to read, and that was the point. The man in front of me crossed his arms slightly. Go on. Good. Now we move, I said. You let him go. Erase the debt. His eyes darkened instantly. No. I raised my hand slightly. Not finished. In return, you get access to something far more valuable. He studied me, and that is real money, real opportunities, real connections. Not quick scams, not temporary wins, long-term control. That hit. I saw it in the way his posture shifted, in the way his eyes sharpened, because men like him, they understand one thing above all, growth, and I just offered it. He took another step closer. Now we were face to face, close enough to feel the tension, or break it. And what makes you think we need you? I smiled slightly, because if you didn't, you wouldn't still be standing here listening. Silence. Then a slow breath from him. He looked at the others briefly, then back at me. You are either very confident or very stupid. I held my gaze. I don't make stupid moves. Another pause, longer this time. Then finally, he smiled. A real one. Cold, sharp. I like you. Of course you do, because you see yourself, but better. We'll consider it, he said. I nodded once. You will, because this is your best option. He turned slightly, then stopped. If this is a trick, it is not, I said before he could finish, because I don't play games I cannot win. That made him look at me again, longer this time. Then he nodded slowly. Good. He stepped back, conversation over. For now. I turned without another word and walked toward the exit. No rush, no fear, no hesitation. Behind me, I could feel their eyes, still watching, still calculating. Good. Let them. Because the game had just started, and I was already ahead. Outside, the air felt lighter, but my mind was sharper than ever. He followed quickly. "What just happened?" he asked in a low voice. I looked at him calmly. "I just bought you time." His face was still tense. "Are they going to agree?" I opened the car door. "They already have." He frowned, but they didn't say anything. I sat inside, then looked at him one last time. They didn't say no, and that's enough. I started the engine. Tomorrow, everything changes, and this time, there is no room for mistakes.